Well, just going on YouTube, this is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review a live EP by rock band Three Doors Down. Basically, this product is called Another 700 Miles, and it came out in the fall of 2003. So basically, this particular product came out in the interim between the late 2002 album by Three Doors Down, Away from the Sun, as far as this fair is going to happen, then the early 2005 album, 17 Days, as far as that particular pitch kind of went. Now, there was kind of a lengthy particular gap as far as this particular fair is going to happen with it. I think it's because they kind of went on like a world tour. Particularly Away from the Sun was a pretty damn successful album. It was an album that went like 6 times platinum. But then their year 2000 album, which I forget what that, their year 2000 album with the hits, Kryptonite and Loser on there, and Duck and Run and some of those type pitches, and Be Like That particularly also went 7 times platinum. So Three Doors Down right from the get go was a multi platinum band as far as this pitch can happen. Both their first two had pretty much over 4 or 5 times platinum type pitches within the fair. This is like a good stopgap and kind of interim type fair to kind of get within the pitch behind it now. I Basically, this is the last Three Doors Down project to cover as far as this pitch can happen, unless they drop like some newer type stuff within the pitch as far as this is going to happen. I reviewed their Christmas EP, which came out in like mid late or that came out in late 2009. So the collection of the rest of the EPs they have are just more live type ones that don't really have seemingly much new stuff on there as far as this pitch can happen. So I think this is the last batch and burst of like things that are left over from like the content that has some particular new fare. Now, particularly this EP just basically has five live songs and then a sixth kind of cover song, which is some excellent type pitch. One of the reasons why I'm reviewing this, but this is a classic here. Recommend all 6 songs on here. There's actually 7 songs on this EP, but one of which is the intro to When I'm Gone. As far as this pitch can happen, it's kind of the concert speak as far as this phrase gonna happen with this. So good type tone. Simple to say, like I was saying, recommend all the songs within the pitch. Excellent type fare. There are like mild differences, I would have to say. There's no single off this product. It's too bad that they didn't throw like a I mean, they did throw a new song on here in the form of It's Not Me, which showed up on their 2005 album within the pitch as far as something that would have been a single or something like that. I'm probably going to treat the single off this album as if it's That Smell, the Leonard Skinner cover, as far as this pitch is going to happen. I do like the fact that they threw that on here. Pretty good pitch. Can I get this here? Brad Arnold hands pretty good concept. Get this here. Brad Arnold handles the particular concept of a cover song as far as this pitch can happen. So it's just excellent aspects just to the pitch. So, but yeah, this was the pitch. I look after the EP, the acoustic EP that they dropped in form of the Christmas album did actually have a single on there, but it's an excellent type pitch. This is a classic here. Just like the pitch, but like I was saying, it does have like some mild differences in some of these songs. Do you like the more gauze type feel, Kryptonite? Do you like the more kind of hollow ricketiness of Duck and Run? It's a little bit more ratchet, just kind of unstable, like the concept of like the day dredge kind of foggy rainy type feel When I'm Gone, and then the pitch behind Here Without You just continues like the radio staple kind of appeal with just like an extra kind of looming ghastliness in terms of like a typical kind of evening slag type format. So good type pitch, and then It's Not Me is like some good day dredge for the pitch behind it. Now, don't know, is that song familiar? I do need to get to purchasing like 17 Days from 2005. It's just the pitch. I haven't purchased it as of this moment, so this is the pitch. But and go ahead and talk about like That Smell first as far as this pitch kind of happen. This is the Leonard Skinner cover, and this is a song from the 70s, considering that the band in their original run was between, I don't know if it was the 60s and the 70s, but they were on their fifth album when they had their snafus as far as this pitch kind of happened with like the unfortunate plane crash, some of those type fairs. But this was the pitch. Within the pitch, the Leonard Skinner That Smell cover is like a hot day, kind of feeling nice after moments traffic can get here as far as this pitch can happen. It's the primer for Roar. This particular song is like a primer for a roaring night. I had to say within the aspect, just like Metallica, some of those type pitches with them. Fair. When you think of some of that type product, just songs like they did, like Sad But True, like a whole I think there's a song off of the Black Album called Holier Than Thou. Some of those type pitches, definitely Enter Sandman. Some of those type pitches are just really having a ripping kind of night. Pretty much, it reminds me of like a song where it would be a hot day, just definitely within the pitch, something June, July, August, but within the fair is something where the sun is out when it's like 8:39 p.m. Pitches like that as far as this fair is going to happen. This where it's still technically it's not necessarily day, but it's just where the sunlight is still kind of out within the pitch, where you know it's going to be a real ripping time. You're really going to get to some tore upness within the pitch behind it. It's kind of where it would be some traffic type fair just for the after effect of just appreciating the conduct of the excitement, some of that particular type fair. So this kind of classic 70s metal as far as this pitch can happen, definitely like the aspect of that particular cover song. So the cover song That Smells excellently. So the cover song That Smells an excellent type pitch within the aspect. Good choice as far as those aspects can have a good type fare. So some of these type ones, I'm just going to go down the list with these. I recommend every song on here, like I was saying, was just the pitch. I'm going to talk about these with shorter descriptions because these are the same songs with the intactfulness. the live variations, I mean, just getting it performed live. It's not like this is acoustic type songs within the pitch. It's just the same format as you would hear on like a standard album. So I'm just gonna have a little bit minor extra descriptions about some of these, but they're the same standard hit for the most part. But Kryptonite is a nice one. It's like a stellar kind of bar after effect gauze kind of get here. It just feels a little bit more hazy and sludgy within the aspect behind it. Just maybe having may as opposed to Kryptonite's kind of more one or two beers in the pitch. This just feels like you have the after effect of having those beers in, just smokage in your system. Some of those type pitches, just what I'd say, continued venue John as far as those pitches have. So good type of feel. This classic type song for that neon bar life as far as those pitches kind of happen. Good type tone. When I'm Gone is a real nice one here as far as those aspects can happen. This is more misty and distant this time, I'd have to say, within the pitch. It's kind of the concept of this a little bit more luminous. It's an aspect of this more kind of sonically, kind of just like, can't really think of like a synonym for like the word dissonant, but just within the pitch as far as saying this kind of the hollowed out kind of, it feels a lot more misty and gauzy as far as this pitch can happen. There's a lot of gauze off this particular product. I like the appeal behind it, how that particular pair kind of happens. It's the after effect of kind of more Fight Club type music within the pitch. And by Fight Club, I mean the 1999 movie, some of those type fairs, just day dredge within the aspect. I feel like When I'm Gone, Here Without You, a good 1-2 punch for those particular type formats. Just pretty much between like the Orange Skies kind of slag of something of like 4 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. Some of those type pitches. Here Without You is good combination with that. Like I was saying, radio staple, definitely about this one. There's not terrible much change to this particular song. Hearing it live, it's the same thing. I mean, I feel like When I'm Gone's a little bit more dissonant, but this one, this is basically the same as the song you'd hear on the radio. Just trudging kind of evening slag, kind of get here, and just a good traffic type tune within the pitch behind. Just that typical type fare. It's that after work shift kind of smoke in the whip type pitch. Just get like some Burger King, some of those type pitches with the aspects. As far as those fairs can have this typical kind of frustrations with the aspect behind it. Good typical kind of good typical kind of muzak for the pitch of SFW-ness of just got done with things first was first gonna happen. Duck and Run's a quality one. Now, this is a good combination with Kryptonite, a little bit more energetic, but just a nice aspect here. Kind of get it's like a nice blood pumper. I'd have to say about this one, just a little bit more rickety. Hearing it live, I'd have to suppose, but it's very fluid within the aspect behind this kind of aspect, just having like some juice in the system as far as those first gonna happen. Just kind of the concept, whether it is drank in your system, or just kind of concept of just feeling lively within the pitch behind it. Just kind of feels, I don't want to say it feels full bound off the rails, but it's just kind of aspect as far as saying that this kind of has a little bit more unwavered sense of energy. Now the original one was just like a more typical kind of, I feel like the original one that's just on the album version of Duck and Run is just kind of a more type one for just the pitch of like, all right, gonna head out, kind of a traffic type song with the pitch of getting ready to head to a venue. Some of those type pitches is kind of a good combination with Kryptonite, but this particular one just feels like the concept of just having like more kind of aspects, having more kind of aspects in your system, whether it is drank, some of those type pitches within the concept as far as this pitch kind of goes. A good type fare. It kind of feels more jittery. And then It's Not Me is a quality one as well. And then It's Not Me is definitely a nice one as well. As like some evening embrace kind of get here, just dredgy kind of usual fatigue within the aspects behind it, just some smokage in your system as far as those fairs can happen. That's definitely what I recommend for this. It's kind of the concept, whether it is just neighborhood traffic, some of those type fairs, gas station runs, just local hops, some of those type pitches, just kind of the format, just more neighborhood bound, just a more neighborhood type version of Here Without You, or I feel like Here Without You is a little bit more car centric type one within pitch. I feel like When I'm Gone is kind of the slag of like the dissonantness, of just kind of the after effect of like a good combination with Here Without You. I'd say It's Not Me just feels more localized type fare within the product of this kind of. It's the usual fatigue. I like the SFW type formats, like the after moments of it. So it's good type pitch, but the format of it definitely has some pretty good blistering type appeal. So it's just the aspect you get the continued strengths of Three Doors Down as far as this pitch can have, but mostly that sound mostly continues to be that summary kind of 6 o'clock p.m. type dredge within the aspect as far as those formats kind of go, just within the pitch of like the typical slag and just the after work shift kind of relief as far as those pitch can have, just the usual dredge and frustration within some of those type of appeals within it. Just typical kind of like typical kind of cool off within pitches like that with a couple of turn up touch songs. Actually, there's three SFW songs and three turn up songs. That Smell, the cover song, definitely has that pitch like some good turn up as well within the pitch behind. But it's just kind of the format, just within the aspect of like neighborhood jaunts, just more neighborhood type fare, Kryptonite and Duck and Run into the more Benny type noise within the pitch behind it. So it just has the particular aspects as far as that nailing that appeal. So I just look after here, good type pitch for some of that type fare. This EP gets a 10 out of 10 just in the pitch. The social score I'll probably give like, yeah, I'd say I'll give the social score like a 10 out of 10 just in the pitch. I like Really, I love kind of throw. Definitely love, thoroughly enjoyed like the new cover song within some of those type pitches. That Smell seems like a classic 70s rock song within pitch. Makes me want to check out the Leonard Skinner version of this particular song. But definitely has the aspect of like some summer kind of spice for like 8 o'clock p.m. when the sun is still relatively still out within the pitch. So it's a good type for that excitement and primer, just exhilarating type one. And Kryptonite and Duck and Run are some excellent type pitches within some of those type fares. It just like Benny Noise and like a more gauze type sense within pitch. Just has like some has some aspects of some drink in your system. Some of those particular night fares like the sludge or just the after effect of neon life. And the three SFW songs are good within the pitch as well. Just have the foremost like that typical kind of 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. type slag within the pitch as far as those aspects kind of having just that usual fatigue and pitches like that. So good type of appeal. So it nails the aspect just within a short kind of package. Probably, I mean, this could have almost stood to have been an album. If they would have just thrown 3 or 4 more songs on here, it would have been a pitch that gotten a 10 song variation, 2 cover songs, 2 new songs, a single, something like that. Some of those type formats definitely would have been a pretty blockade. But for what it is, this is an excellent stopgap. Just the pitch behind it. When you think after it, kind of the pitch. Stopgaps have a particular aspect of just nailing the concept of just softening the blow as far as like the weight between lengthier gaps as far as this pitch can happen. But it's just kind of the pitch that this was a successful variation that kind of did it, considering that this came out almost when 2003 was over, and it tided folks over until early 2005 as far as this pitch comes. So it's just good type taste for that. Like I said, it works for like a pretty. The appeal behind it is definitely vicious enough to be able to have, but I think it probably could use more content. But I'm still going to give it a 10 out of 10, both the regular score and the social. So good type pitch for that. So in terms of the future, the unfortunate thing is that Three Doors Down has not been around since 2016 within some of those type of aspects. This would look within the pitch. They really have only dropped 2 albums since 2008 within some of those type fairs. I guess they did drop a greatest hits album in 2012, but for the most part, it's been pretty light since about like the mid 2010s as far as those pitch come. But it's an excellent aspect here. I pretty much I think now, as of now, I've covered every single Three Doors Down product with the original content. There might be, and unless like some of these unless some of these other EPs have some new stuff on there, which I'm not as full bound sure. It doesn't seem as likely. I'd have to say for the most part, I've covered everything by Three Doors Down. So I would definitely check out the Three Doors Down playlist to see it in its full catalog, and I would just watch these front to back to see like the saga of what particularly goes on with like the Three Doors Down affairs, just with every song that I covered. Now I realize some of these I covered back in 2016 when things were a little bit different, not with the affluence that's current within as of mid 2025, but still excellent type pitch. So yeah, fuck with Three Doors Down playlist. Fuck with all these albums with them pitches like that. They definitely have some vicious stuff, and it's just some good ferociousness here.